guys. Okay, so third video of the night. I am going to try to kick out a quick tutorial for you guys, featuring some of my Beebeecraft products that I got earlier this year, some of their wire, and some of their spacer beads and things. So I basically just got wire and spacer beads when sorry, I had a fly on me. I basically just got wire and spacer beads and some cup chain when I got my Beebeecraft haul. So I'm going to use that wire. And when I did my exchange with Wendy Whitman, I sent her a labradorite necklace with some metal beads on them that were spun on my wire gizmo. So I'm going to show you how to do some of those using that wire. We're going to put together a few of them, and then we will try and put together a really quick memory wire bracelet with those beads and some of the other spacer beads from Beebeecraft and some other beads. Well, I got some rondelles from them, and then some beads from Curated Bead Box, a charm from Craftica, and some wire from the Curated Bead Box, or memory wire. So we're going to try and kick this out really quick. I'm going to show you how to make these little beads, and then we'll move on to putting the bracelet together. And I'm probably only going to show you how to do a couple of these beads, and I'll make the rest on my own, and then we'll start the rest of the video. Okay, so I'm going to turn you around and we'll get into this tutorial. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of finagling. So I'm going to show you how I made these wire beads. This is my wire gizmo, and let me try and get it all in. And you put it on your table and you turn this bottom until it secures securely. And then it comes with different turning things. And let me set this up real quick and I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So this here will fit right over whatever your workstation is. And then, sorry, you're going to kind of see the floor. You're going to turn this until, oh, sorry guys. It's hard to do this with just one hand. So you're going to turn this bottom piece until you get it securely tight on your table or whatever workspace you're using. Just like that. So now it doesn't come off and it looks like this. So then, and you can get this at craft stores. I got this from Joann's, and ironically I got a great deal on it because they had them marked wrong. So they had this marked as $6.99. So the lady actually gave it to me for $6.99, which was a huge deal. And because it rang up at the register for $20. Now, you can still use your coupons on it, but, like say, it rang up as $20. So, this one came with 5 of these bars. Sometimes it comes with 2, sometimes it comes with 4, sometimes it comes with 5. So, I usually use this one, and it's the second to the smallest. It's not the smallest, but it's the second one up. So, and I put it, there are little holes on this side of this. There's a small, a medium, large, and a larger. And so, I put this in these holes, just like this. And, then you put your wire around it and you start wire wrapping it. Sorry guys, you're going to see a little bit of my workspace and other things because it's very strange the way I have to do this. And I'm trying to get this up so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Okay, that might work. So, and I'm actually going to turn this around and put it on this side because I am right-handed. So it fits just like this. And to make the beads that I made on Wendy's, you're going to first just coil a coil. And I'm going to actually do this in 2 colors. So I'm using artistic wire, 26 gauge gold. And then I'm going to use, after that, I'm going to use the 18 gauge Beebeecraft wire in silver. So I'm kind of doing a 2-toned one. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you are going to wrap this securely around this bar so that it keeps it from trying to slide off. And I usually I usually leave this wire on the spool and just pull it from there. So then you're going to pull it all the way up here, holding it sort of loose to begin with, and just start coiling. Just like this. You can push it against that to keep it a little straight. And you're just going to keep coiling and coiling and coiling and coiling until you have your desired length. And last time I did it, I used about 1.5 inches in length. So, just going to keep coiling, coiling, coiling. And if you hold your wire down underneath the table, it helps a lot to keep it where you want it to be. So, how you make these beads come out fairly similar to one another is to measure your original coil and your other wire pieces. So, this one here is about, let me get my ruler here. Oh, wrong end. That's going to be about 1 inch. So we're going to call that good. I'm going to snip this off right here. And then you can kind of sort of adjust it. Whoops, those are my snippers. I didn't have any of my tools out yet, really. You can kind of sort of adjust it while still on the spool. That's not going to work well for that one. Sorry. Let me get... Those might work well. So you can kind of sort of adjust it while it's still on the spool. And then that way it's even space. It's evenly spaced. And then after you get this all together and you have it how you want it, like say you can push it up a little bit like this to make it tight, and it pushes your coil there together. And then you can just snip off your pieces of extra over here. So you'll just find wherever your coil kind of starts and just snip that piece if you can get a hold of it. And I'm going to pull mine off. So you can just snip this piece here. And what I like to do is after I snipped it, I like to pull it down on my bar here and straighten up my ends, you know, because that way they're not sticking out, they look nice, they're uniform, and you didn't smash them down to a different size than the rest of your coil. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even on screen. I'm trying to do this while still seeing what I'm doing. And the camera is right up next to me, so it's a little more difficult on this one to make these. But they're not hard at all if you have this tool. They're very, very simple. So just straightening out my end pieces and just kind of making them uniform. Then once you're done, you can just slide this coil right off. It just slides off the end. And you've got a little coil. Now if you bend it, it's going to go all wonky shaped. So then you just kind of clip your excesses off or undo them, however you want to do it. You just pull that off, and I just toss this piece. So then you're going to cut you off a piece of your 18 gauge wire or 20 gauge, or you can use any kind of gauges really, just whatever works best for you. But I'm just going to use this 18 gauge wire that I got from Beebeecraft, and usually I will measure it out to be about 6 inches. So I just kind of snip off a piece about 6 inches, and let's see, it's the wrong way. So that's a little over 6 inches. So pulling it back about here, that's pretty close to 6 inches. So we'll just snip off a piece right there. That's pretty close to 6 inches here. Then what I usually do is I will generally kind of straighten this wire out using my nylon jaw pliers. And like it doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but it just kind of helps a little bit to get it going. So then you are going to do the same process that you did on the first one, except you're going to wrap your end of your wire around your end of your long bar here, and try not to cut your finger. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to slide this other coil onto this wire. Then what you want to do, you push it all the way up here. Let's see if I can get you focused in again. Okay, sorry guys, so that totally just made me press pause on you guys. Or not pause, stop. So I'm going to splice this video together. But, so you're going to press all the way up like you did before. And you want to start coiling this one too. So you're going to coil as well as you can. And I usually do about 5 coils. 4 or 5. So that's 3, 4. And this one around will be 5. So then you got to push this coil up against this one as much as you can. And as you're coiling, it's going to coil that one too with it. And it makes this really cool design. Just like that. And you'll keep coiling the rest of your wire until you really can't coil anymore. And I try to go as far as I can. So, let me see if I can grab, sorry guys. Let me see if I can grab this so that's probably the best you're going to get as far as that goes on here. You really need something to hold on to. So, but that gives us almost the exact amount of, sorry guys, of coil on both sides. See that there? And I will adjust the ends on here just like I did with the first one. So you're going to cut off your wire. Okay, I can't get in with those ones, so see if I can get in with these ones. You're going to cut your wire off just like that, like you did before. And if you want to snip this other one off, you can, or you can just kind of pull it off and trash it. Then you can slide this down and you can start working on adjusting these little pieces here. So, you can pull this in here. Oh, sorry. Pull this one in here and line it up just like that, as much as you can. And I just kind of slide things together, make it look a little more uniform, a little more pretty. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and basically 6. So on this one we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to roll this one around one more time, just using my fingers. Sorry, guys. And then, for this excess, you're just going to come in here and... Oh, I'm so sorry. The camera is right in my face and where my hands work. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to clip this last little bit off. So there's that. And then, like I say, you can continue to just adjust this and make it look nice and uniform. And then I'm going to slide it down here a bit. I'm trying to kind of get rid of this space here if you can. If you can't, that's fine. If you can, that's great. So that kind of looks like about the best I'm going to do with this. So there's your finished little piece. And this is what I put on Wendy's bracelet, this little piece here. Then you just slide it right off your bar. And it looks like this. And you make however many you need for your bracelet, which I used 8 for hers. And I measured my wire that I used to coil on the bottom, and I measured my first coil to make sure they matched up. So there's that. So I'm going to set this one down, and I'm going to make a few more of these, and then I will come back and finish up making the bracelet with you guys. So give me a few minutes. Okay guys, I'm back, and we're going to throw together a very quick memory wire bracelet, if we can. And maybe a pair of earrings, we'll see. See what kind of memory wire I have left. So, I'm using this memory wire. It actually came in one of these finding packs from the Curated Bee box. That one. So, I'm just going to use that. These are some beads that I got from dollarbead.com. These are some beads that I got from Beebeecraft.com. And they had sent me these free of charge for an honest review. Some fire polish, a couple of charms, and I'm just going to do pet-friendly ones. So I'm doing a dog and a dog bone. And these wire beads that we made earlier. And then some more spacers, also from Beebeecraft. So that's what we're going to use. As far as tools go, you will definitely need yourself a pair of memory wire cutters. So these are specifically for memory wire. You really do not want to use these. These are your snips. If you use these, then it's going to dent them all up, so you have to be prepared to lose them. They'll be crap after that. So if you can, get you a pair of these. They sell them at Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby, and they're really not that expensive. Now, Xuron's a little more expensive, but just the regular pair is not that expensive. So you really want to get you a pair of those. Those are great. Then you can either use, you need a pair of round nose pliers. So you can either use these, or if you have a pair of round nose pliers that is specifically for this, which I do, specifically for memory wire, which I do, then you can use those. And these are what they usually look like. I got mine at Hobby Lobby for like, I don't know, $6 because I used my 40% off coupon. And see, they've got a small end and a larger end to do. So I'm actually going to use that one instead of this pair, but if you don't have this pair, then a regular round nose pair of pliers will work. And then you might want to have some chain nose pliers on hand just in case. So let's get into this, and we'll get started on our bracelet. So I'm kind of weird, and I like to do patterns in 3s and 5s. So that's what I tend to do. And I'm going to set my tools to the side, except for this pair. So when you start at the end of your memory wire bracelet, you got to find the ending, get it all stretched out nice and neat, so that it doesn't tangle up on you. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops about. And I may or may not use all this, but just in case I want to. So memory wire is a lot denser than normal wire. So it's very hard to bend and it bounces right back into shape. That's why I love memory wire. It's easy to wear. You don't have to worry about clasping. So I love, love, love memory wire. I make a lot of memory wire bracelets. Sorry, guys. I don't know why, but every time I shoot a video, I can't talk. So they're going to tell you a couple of different ways that you can put your first loop on your memory wire. And honestly, most people rotate down. I like to rotate back just because it will sit flat on your wrist that way, and you don't have a risk of scratches and stuff. So you're going to grip the end of your memory wire with your tool, and you want the bigger rod facing towards you and the smaller rod facing inwards if you're going to bend it like this. Now, if you were going to bend it down, you would have the bigger rod on the top. Sorry, I'm trying to let it focus on so you can see it, and the smaller on the bottom. But I'm going to bend it back. So, you want to put it like this and get as close as you can to where it's coming out the other end, but it's not that far. I don't know why it won't focus up close here. So, and then I'm just going to bend it back. And you can let go and turn if you need to. However you need to do this. Sorry. And just bend it as far as you can get it. Now, if you need to do some touch-ups, that's why I said you might want to have some of your, what are these? I'm sorry, chain nose pliers on hand. But I'm also going to add a charm to the end. And so I've got this little dog charm, and I added a, what are they called? I've just lost my brain. The spring ones. Spring ring, yeah. I've added a spring ring rather than a jump ring because I just feel like that's more secure. So I'm going to add that to the end of our memory wire bracelet here. And if you went ahead and you turned it a little too far, then you can just kind of pop it up a little bit and slide that on there, or however you want to do it. And that's going to be backwards, so it's going to slide on like this. Okay, then I'm going to just bend it back down, and I'm going to go ahead and pinch this closed, I think. Just pinch it closed as well as you can get it. I'm kind of a perfectionist, goodness sakes. So, okay, so there we've got our little charm on, and he's very cute. So, then you're just going to start stringing. Now, I sort of have a pattern in mind, but I wasn't completely sure what I was going to do. So, I'm going to snip this here strand and let them free. And then we will start kind of just putting some things together. I'm going to move that charm back there. And we're just going to put it together. So, there's those. And I'm going to dump these ones here out too. So we've got some of these out on our table. And these. So I don't have it completely set. Like I don't know exactly what my pattern's going to be. I'm just kind of winging it. And that's what I usually do when I make memory wire bracelets. It just kind of comes together. So I'm going to set some of these together there, and then we're going to throw this thing together. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one of these ones on first, one of these fire polish. So you're going to find the other end, whichever one that you have not already added your charm to. And a lot of times my memory wire bracelets end up being 3 or 4 loops. So I'm going to pop one of him on. And then I'm going to pop one of these ones on. And then one of these, I think. And then a black here. Another one of these gold spacers. Another one of these. And another one of these. So, I'm very much big on symmetry. So right now this is my pattern. I did a gold fire polish, a glass with the gold luster, a gold spacer, a black rondelle, another gold spacer, a glass with gold shimmer, and a fire polish. So that's my pattern as of right now. So when you want a little variety, you want them to move around a bit, then what I do is sometimes I'll double these beads here in the middle. And then that way, sorry, excuse my fingers, they have glue on them. I was trying to glue something just a little bit ago. But, so then that way they move around a little bit. So then, after all of this, I am actually going to add on one of our metal beads here that we made. And what I do to make these fit right is I go ahead and I just kind of tilt it down so it's curved. And then I just pop it on like that. And then we're going to do another one of our pattern, which was fire polish, luster, spacer, black, spacer, luster, and fire polish. So there's about a half a loop right there. So then, if you want to, like, have them have a little variety in them, then you can double it on the next round. That was a little too far to push mine. Okay, so I'm going to add one of these metal beads again. Just like that. Push it on. And then now we are going to do the same pattern, but I am going to double my big beads. So fire polish, luster, luster, spacer, two black beads. Actually, no, I'm just going to do one actually of this one. And then spacer. If I can find the hole on this spacer. There we go. Sorry, guys. Two gold lusters. And a fire polish. So see, it's still the same pattern, but just a little bit wider, which is going to make your beads sit differently when it's done. So that's going to be my pattern for this. Then I'm going to add another one of these. And I'm going to do that same pattern again. So I did fire polish, luster, luster, spacer, black bead, spacer, luster, luster, and fire polish. So I'm gonna now throw on another one of our metal beads again. And like I say, I like these metal beads because I made them in two colors. They're gold and silver, so they're a two-tone. So that matches up. And then we're going to change up our pattern again a little bit. So I'm doing a fire polish, a luster, a spacer, two blacks, and actually I think I'm going to add something between this black, and I'm going to add a couple of these. I'm just going to grab a couple of these out. So I can use those. Okay, so I'm going to put one of these, and you want to make sure these look alright. Kind of turn them in your hand just to make sure all the rhinestones are there. Put one of those, put a black, again, a spacer, it's so hard to find the holes on these little bitty spacers, especially when you're trying to be on camera, a luster, and a fire polish. So that makes our pattern now this, which is very pretty. I like that. And then I'll put another metal bead and do that same one again. And it just gives you a little bit of a variety, but it's still, everything still matches and it still goes together and it still looks very nice. So, oh, I almost started off wrong. Fire polish, luster, spacer. And if you guys catch me messing up, tell me in the comments, because I am such a stickler on that. I watch other people's and I'm like, oh, you forgot a bead. So I'm like, somebody tell me. So there's your spacer. Oh, luster. And fire polish. So there's another one around. Okay, and then I think we're going to reverse it back to what we just did a minute ago with the double lusters. So fire polish, whoops, that fell off. Fire polish, luster, luster, spacer, black bead, spacer, double luster, and fire polish. And once again, I had one more bead here. Oop, I bet that was too much. And like I say, each time I'm putting these beads on, I'm just slightly tilting them just so that they ride along this memory wire well. So, and then we're going to do one more of that. We're going to do fire polish, luster, luster, spacer, black bead, spacer, double lusters, and a fire polish. And then finally we'll do our original pattern. Let me move some of this down just a tad. Okay, and so we need another one of our metal beads. and then a fire polish, a luster, a spacer. Ooh, I dropped my spacer. Spacer, black bead, spacer, luster, and fire polish. And then we've got 2 more of these metal beads here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more of this original pattern, and then I'm going to go back to that middle pattern that I liked so much. I really did like that one. So we're going to do the fire polish, the luster, the spacer, possibly if I can find the hole, spacer, the black bead, spacer, luster, and a fire polish. So there's that pattern finished. And like I say, since we have one more bead, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this bead on, and then I'm going to do one more of that middle one where I did a fire polish, a luster, a spacer, a black bead, one of these pretty sparkly rondelle spacer beads, another black bead, another spacer, another luster, and a fire polish. Okay, and so we're going to call that good. So I'm going to move this all the way down to the end. And I just a lot of times just kind of okay, so there, that meets us up with the other end with all those beads, and then I just follow down with this. So that gives us about 4 loops, almost 4 full loops. So I'm going to cut this off using my my memory wire cutters, and I just leave about a thumb's width. Sorry. And I'm going to cut that off. And I'll set this here, and I can use that for something else. So then, I want to come in here, and I can already tell this is going to be a little too long. So I'm going to trim it down a tiny bit more. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to try and turn this like I did that first one. And, oh, I'm sorry, guys. And this is not an exact science. You can do things how you feel works for you best. I mean, there are going to be people out there who rag on you for not doing it exactly the way they do it. But, honestly, do what works for you. And if that's not what works for you, then don't do it that way. Okay? Then we're going to try and slide on our other charm here. I kind of left a little bit of space, I think. Yep, enough. And it's backwards. So let me pop this back off real quick, if I can. You got to make sure that you get your charms the right way, so that they hang the way that you want them to. Okay, so now that should hang just like that. And then I'm going to come in here with my chain nose and I'm going to straighten this up just a tad. Now, none of these are my original design. If I do some earrings real quick, they are not my original design. These have been around for years and years and years. People have been doing them. I am just showing you a tutorial on how to do them. I'm not claiming ownership of them at all. The only thing that's in my design is the order in which I put my beads on. That's going to be my only thing that I can claim credit for. So there we go. That's your bracelet. And I think it's very cute. And like I said, I love memory wire because you can just slide it on so easily and it just wraps. And you don't have to worry about clasps or anything. So then you let this hang, and I think that's very pretty. I love that. And I think we will go ahead and try and use up some of this remaining memory wire and throw together some really quick earrings. So let me pause real quick. I'm going to grab some other wire and we'll throw these together real quick. Okay, I'm back. So what I want to do with these I already did the memory wire earrings is I am going to take one of these full loops and I'm going to cut it in half basically. So we're going to say I'm going to cut right here-ish. And then what I do is I just measure this piece I cut against the wire here. And I measure another exact piece. So line these up. Okay. And then take yourself over here where you're lined up at. And cut there. Okay. So then I got these two pieces. And because this memory wire bracelet has silver and gold in it, I am going to use silver to do my messy wrap. So I'm going to do a pattern on these. And I'm going to start with a fire polish. Here. Put a fire polish on, a luster, actually, I'm going to do, because I really like these, I think they're super cute, these here beads, I'm going to do one of these, and a black bead, another one of these, a luster, and a fire polish. So the only thing I skipped in this was the spacer bead. But there it is. And I think that's a very cute pattern. And you know what? I lied. I'm going to do another one of these black beads. And then I am going to do the spacers. Okay. So, pattern's changing. So, I'm going to start with those. I really like that. I like how that looks. So then we'll do one of these spacers. That luster bead. And the fire polish. Then we'll do that same thing on the other side. A spacer. A luster. And a fire polish. So then, here's what you got on your thing. So what you want to do now is you want to roll your memory wire out. So we're going to go on both sides. You want it out. So just put it up as neatly as you can there at the end so it's not sticking out but you can see it, and roll out. Okay? And then, oops, kind of bent it. Then, like say, you can straighten it up with your chain nose pliers. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and then you're going to do the same with the other side. We're going to I'm going to turn this around because I work better that way. And you want your bigger side on whichever side you're not rolling towards. So then you stick it up as to where you can see it again. You can see that. But it's not completely sticking through. I can't feel it. And then I'm going to roll it again. So there's that. So you've got a loop on either side. Then you're going to pull you out some of this other wire here. And mine is 24 gauge silver artistic wire. And you're going to pinch the two ends here together like this. And a lot of times I honestly like to keep it on the the tool for memory wire. I like to keep it on this like that. And then you just take your wire. Oops, it popped off. Which actually, I think I'm going to use my regular round nose pliers. Okay, just hold it like that, and then you're going to throw around some of your wire. And this does not need to be perfect at all. Sorry, my desk is right beside the door to outdoors. So, just so you're aware that you'll hear those noises. Okay, so then you're just going to try and wrap this around a couple of times until you can take it off. Ooh, I've gotten mine all messed up. It's kind of a little hard for me to do left-handed. Like say I'm a right-handed person. Okay, and like say, this is going to be a messy wrap. So, it does not need to look perfect. It is designed to be messy. Now, the only thing I would say is try to keep your tension. It's a little difficult here on camera, but try to keep your tension as tight as you can. So then, just go around and around and around until you are satisfied with your messy wraps. And I like to pinch mine down a little bit. Okay, and I think that's going to be good. And I'm going to just kind of clean it up. It's a little sloppy for me. It does not need to be perfect by any means. Not perfect at all. But I do like mine to look a little uniform. So, then you're going to cut off this end here. And you're going to try and tuck it up inside that. And actually that's too much. So, you're going to try and tuck it up inside your messy wrap here. And I just usually take, oh, that wasn't the right pliers. I just usually take my chain nose pliers here and just kind of tuck. And then that's what you have. And you'll just add an ear wire on. I've got a couple of ear wires right here that I can pull out. I didn't have them out originally because I wasn't planning on making earrings, but things change. So let me pop one of these on here and I will show you the finished product of our earring. And there you go. A messy wrap, a pretty earring, and it goes very well with this bracelet. And so I really like how this bracelet turned out. I love the little doggies and the little doggy bone, and I love that this has a little matching pair of earrings. So I'm going to make the other earring on my own, but that is a very quick tutorial on how to make the wire beads here and some wire wrapped earrings. And like I said, these are not my own design. The only thing that's my own design is the way in which I put the beads together. Alright guys, I will see you next time.